It's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! How are you this evening? I hope you're doing well. Couple of reminders. The Rubber Rummage has been rescheduled for July 18th. The new drop-off details, sorry, I was thinking of the word. The new drop-off details for the rummage sale have been emailed out. The shop invite, to not confuse you guys on whether you're selling or whether you're shopping, the new shop invite will be out as of Friday, at the latest Friday. If you're interested in doing open day, the invite, I'm sorry I have to do it this way, but it's what it is for the moment. At least we can be open. The invite for the open studio time, it goes out every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. So if you would like to do morning or evening sessions, I'm capping it at 2 people. So if you'd like to do either, please let me know as soon as possible, because it's all first come, first serve, and I do it week by week. So if somebody misses 1 week and they say, hey, next week, nope, reply to the invite, okay? So I'm trying to make it fair, and I know it's not good, but it's what we have right now. So let's see, what else? For tonight, please comment, say where you're from, how you're doing, what you're having for dinner, what drink you brought with you, whatever you want. Say hello. The more comments you do, the more entries you get into getting the cards for tonight. I'm going to be raffling those off. You have until midnight tonight. It has to be time-stamped Wednesday for the entries to count. I do that first thing in the morning tomorrow, and we'll post the winners and pick your cards, and that's first come, first serve as well. So next month we will be doing class. And just to remind myself, yes, sometimes. So we're here. Bingo is Saturday. If you're unsure how that works, I have sent an email. Have I sent an email out? I was meaning to if I didn't. I don't know for certain. All right, I have to go back and look. If I haven't sent an email out, I need to, because it's on my list, and I don't remember if I scratched it or not. Anyways, 10 a.m. Saturday, all virtual. You should have your packet by now. If you don't have your packet, please let me know as soon as humanly possible. Let's see. I think that's about it for bingo. You need access to my Facebook page. 10 a.m. We're going to be doing a live. Okay? We're going to be doing 3 make and takes, 5 games with 5 prizes. Let's see here. Virtual class or stamp of the week is going to start on the 29th and run through the 6th, because the 4th is a holiday and that's normally when it would stop. So that's the next business day. Real life in-person card class will be July 7th, 9th, or 11th. Okay? Just like we used to do before, with a couple tweaks, and those will go out on the invite. I'm going to cap each class at 4 people, so that way we can do our distancing thing and not have to wear masks. So let's see, because I don't know about you, but after about 30 minutes, I have a very nice headache from it. So let's see, team gathering July 8th, rummage sale on the 18th, and Stamp-A-Stack I will have more details on, but that's 16 cards, and that's Christmas stuff. And the reason I will have more details is because, simply, guess what? I just got a preview of the new mini catalog or holiday catalog today. So I haven't quite gathered which cards we're going to do. Last but not least, my anniversary for my Stamp-Anniversary for my 14th year is on the 27th of July. I'm working out the details right now on how things are going to work for that. So, let's see, what else? Is that enough? No. All right, so the ribbon and paper share, those deadlines are tonight at midnight. If you would like a ribbon share, meaning every single brand new ribbon, a yard of it, if you would like that, you need to let me know like really quick. And then paper share, if you would like every single new pattern of paper, a 6x6 square of it, that is paper share. So next week we'll be doing stamp of the week though, and then rubbage. All right, so bingo's out. Stamp and cut and emboss machine. We gotta learn something easier to name that, but hey, the large one is going to be available for order September 1st. That's the new Big Shot. That's our new die cutting machine. The small or mini will follow shortly. Let's see, what else? Last but not least, our sample kit for tonight. So our sample kit for tonight is huge, right? Okay, I think so at least. So our sample kit for tonight, because this month until June 30th, you have a huge bonus of any bundle, right? So for tonight, we're gonna pick the Lovely You bundle because we're using this punch, okay? So I'm gonna put that over there so I don't forget. And we are combining that with the Paper Pumpkin stamps that came this time. All right, so let's see what else. Besides the bundle. So the sample. The Pretty Peony Sweet, okay? So with that sweet, which is $97.50, would be the paper that matches. I gotta get organized here, huh? Because I got a lot going on. The dies. The prized peony stamp set. The Dainty Diamonds 3D embossing folder. That all coordinates. The square vellum doilies, sorry, blah, if I can talk. Elegant faceted gems that go with this set, as well as the gray granite shimmer ribbon, which is gorgeous, by the way. And then on top of it, you would get a pack of envelopes and a Stampin' Seal. Cool, right? So I have used it. I do have an opinion about it. We'll talk about it in a little bit. So that's just a sample kit. So right now, $99 sign up, no tax, yes, no shipping. So $106.67 out the door if you're at 7 3/4%. If you had ordered everything, it would be $197.05. So you save $90.38, and on top of it, you get catalogs and business supplies as well. So kind of a cool start, right? Let's see, what else? I don't think anything else. Let's put you down so we can get to creating. Hold on. The Stampin' Mist. That's what I forgot. Hold on. We're going on a ride, and my bearing in my stand is very tight for some reason. Probably because I tightened it too much. Go figure. Alright, so I'm trying to get enough room here so I can get everything centered. Okay. I think we are okay. So follow me on the blog, stampinwithjohnny.com. Subscribe to YouTube. And I'm just getting the computer set up, so bear with me just a half a sec. I'm coming. Subscribe on my YouTube channel, Stamping with Johnny. You can order, and the host code is 2VU23TSJ, or you can join my team by going to johnnydaniel.stampinup.net and click on Join Now. Okay? So that is all the catch up I need to do for you. And now I gotta get caught up with 15 comments, you guys. Wow. Thank you. Alright, so. Alrighty, so 15 comments. Okay, let's see how fast I can get caught up. Not that fast. Okay, so I will say hello. And I will keep going. Alright. Okay, so for tonight, couple things. For the simple create part, we're going to use our Stampin' Seal, which I'm still getting used to. I have to be honest. There's definitely a learning curve, just like we had with Fast Fuse, just like we had with Snail. So, it's okay, but it's definitely a learning curve. Okay, so this is what we're creating tonight. Okay, so the point of this whole thing is for you to grab a piece of designer series paper that has a pattern that you find tedious, monotonous, too straight, to whatever, however you want to say it. You got to break it up, and that's what we're doing tonight. Okay, so you should have your card base, you should have your outer mat, you should have your inner mat, you should have some kind of scrap for a label or some kind of words. You should have your designer piece that's too much in a row, whatever that might be. And hey, if you don't have that, create it. Get a little stamp and just do it. Not a problem. Okay, and then I have a piece of ribbon to break it up. If you do not have a piece of ribbon, grab a really skinny scrap of paper or cardstock. Go figure, right? Okay, so this is what we're creating tonight. This is what kind of paper? Where's Cheryl when I need her? She knew the answer last week, and I blanked on it last week. All right. I don't know what I'm having for dinner yet, quite yet, so that's why I'm kind of asking. All right, and yes, I know it's after 7, but it's life in the big city. All right, so I am grabbing my card base, which is cut, I forgot my water by the way, which is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Valley side goes on the outside. We're going to hide those mountains or the bump, okay? So, Stampin' Seal. Couple great things about it, couple things. Hi, Linda. How are you all the way from Colorado? So, couple great things about the Stampin' Seal, couple things that I'm still getting used to. Obviously, the cartridge is bigger, right? So, the great thing about it is it comes with this nice little pouch. So, when you lose the cap, it doesn't stick to everything because I'm going to lose the cap because it doesn't clip like the other one did. Okay? So, I'm going to lose the cap. Just trust me. Okay, so the other thing that's nice about this is when you buy the Stampin' Seal and the Stampin' Seal Plus, the Stampin' Seal Plus is a stronger adhesive that is designed more so for 3D kind of projects, or if you want something to last a very, very long time. The cartridges are interchangeable. So what I mean by that is if you want to do Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus, all you need is one cartridge, and then by the refill of the other, pull this apart, put the other one in, and there you go. If you don't want to have to change it, then you gotta buy 2 cartridges, and that's all there is to it. So let's see, what else do I like about this? I like that you can see the refill better. I like the fact that the cartridge is bigger, not necessarily in my hand because I haven't gotten used to the feel yet, but I like the fact that it doesn't get lost on my desk as quickly because of all the mess and all the layers. I didn't think I was going to like it because the first about 6 inches of it, I could just peel it right apart. And then once I got past the first about 6 inches to a foot, give or take, then it became a totally different adhesive. I don't know if that's because it's summertime and the box sat outside in the desert, in the heat, whatever you want to chalk it up to, I'm not sure. But just know that the first 6 inches for me, yeah. And then it got way good, okay? So there's that. Let's see, there's no push-pull check marks. It's when you're done, you just simply lift off. If you do the check marks and stuff, this kind of goes cattywampus, which means you gotta straighten it back out, or you gotta reel it a little bit so that way the stickies is where it is, because I have a tendency of still doing the check mark like we used to do for the Fast Fuse. So, let's see, what else? Are you caught up to me yet? Hi, Lise, how are you? Do you have your card base and your mats and all that? I hope so. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. So, of course it's not going to work, right? Because we're on a live. Because that's how it goes, right? So you got a softer touch than the last one. You don't have to do the crazy angle like last time. And I use less glue. It's a tiny bit more expensive, but listen before you shut down, okay? It's a tiny bit more expensive, but you get like 3 extra yards. So if you divide it out, it's like 0.001 of a penny more, okay? So you're good, is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so we've got that. The other thing I have noticed is when it gets towards the end of a roll, because yes, I have gone through one already, it's really tough towards the end. So you're really having to kind of get your fingers there, and that might be something I did wrong, I'm not sure. So we're just gonna chalk it up and move on, okay? So if the second one does that, then we'll talk. All right, so if you're just joining me, make sure to comment, say hello, because I will be raffling off 2 cards tonight. So the point of this quick easy card is to break up that pattern. So one thing you will notice now with the mini glue dots, you will notice this unless you have a bad batch that it's all like scattered, but usually they're equally distant. And so what you can do is instead of going like this and like this and like this for the ribbon, you can go vertically instead of horizontally, and you can get all your ribbon done in one fell swoop. And I'm touching it to make it a tiny bit warm so it attaches to the ribbon, because sometimes it doesn't like to. And just a tip for you. Okay, so we're gonna lay this down in the middle of the pattern. Notice I cut it crooked because, yeah, that's me, right? Okay, so we're gonna lay this down here. Now, if you guys create with me, or you create something of similar project, meaning we break up some kind of designer series paper, pattern, whatever you want to say, and you post it on the video before midnight tonight, that will be worth 2 entries. So if you want to have a chance to win a card, that's what you need to do. Okay, so I've got my ribbon there. Got it. And then I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal. And the brilliant thing about the Stampin' Seal is I can do it on fabric as well. So instead of doing glue dots on the ribbon, guess what? I can do it this way. Yay! Okay, so I'm just going to go in, up, and over. Okay, and there we go. So far, so good? Anybody following along? I hope so. All right, so I'm going to tear off my scrap here and go for a little bit of a tidy desk, which means I'm going to try to find the box that I put way over so I can put this up. Okay, now I'm going to grab some dimensionals. So I'm going to put this here, but I want this to kind of span over the ribbon so you don't see the bump of the ribbon, which is why I'm doing the dimensionals. So I'm going to go right to the edge here because this is going to go like this. And then the other I'm going to do on the other edge. And if you wanted to, you could do 2 more in the middle. Actually, I do, because I don't want it to go concave on me. Notice we go through a lot of dimensionals, huh? So these are peeling fairly easily. But if you have trouble with getting the backs off, simply stick your thumbnail in the middle of that, and it'll make it come up, and they'll come off super easy. Okay? All right, so got all your pieces down. And I had to be quiet to line it up. My brain was thinking. So that's our simple card. So that's number 1 that I'm going to be raffling off. Yay! Hopefully you've made one too. I'm not sure though. Okay. So that was out of the set Comfort and Hope, if you're wondering. The words were, as well as the texture in the background. I don't know if you saw that or not. I stamped that ever so lightly. So the words were done with Early Espresso, and then the other was done with Sahara Sand, but it was stamped off onto a piece of scrap beforehand so it's even lighter. Okay, you can also do it with crumb cake. You could do it with soft suede. You could even do it with espresso. It's just how many times you got to stamp off to get the shade that you want. Okay, so there you go. So that was Comfort and Hope. Okay, so the next one we're doing, and this is not a create with me, this is what we're doing. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I did all the labels kind of as a monochromatic kind of thing, and then I did the embossing folder, but then you couldn't see the labels at all, which was kind of an oops on my part, right? And then on top of it, we also made a paper ribbon to go, okay? And I'm going to give you some tips on this punch as well. And then the stamp set came from the Paper Pumpkin this month. If you would like the sunshine box, as we're calling it, I do have an extra, and it's $25 unless I need to ship it. So, let's see. So we've got Mango Melody, we've got Early Espresso, we've got Smile and the Sun out of the stamp set. Now, what else is in this stamp set? A little something to brighten your day, sending, hello, some texture or raindrops, you are loved, and sunshine. Okay, so that is what we've got for the stamps. As far as the card base, I'm doing a little bit different color scheme than the Night of Navy and the, I believe that's Mary Merlot. Let's see here. So for this one, I still have a thick whisper white card base. Sorry about that. 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Valley goes on the outside. Okay. I also have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. See, I'm doing that check mark still. I got to get out of the habit because that's when it boogers. Night of Navy cardstock cut at 5 1/4 by 4. That's my outer mat. And it looks like I'm getting some fuzz down here. It looks like it's about time to change my blade. And then I'm going to put this to the side because this is what we're really working with. I've got a piece of Granny Apple Green cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Thank heaven for replay, huh? So you could get all these measurements and scroll back about 5 seconds, right? And then I've taken the other mat of this, and I have literally, actually it was cut at the outer mat size at 5 1/4 by 4. Here's the reason why. Because the punch will take off some, and so I wanted to make sure that it was long enough. So I left it a little bit long. So I've got everything from 1/2 inch increment to 3/4 increment to, or width to 1 inch. The punch, the lovely pickle, oh shoot, what's the name of it? Anyways, that guy goes anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch and any length. Okay, so that's why I've pre-cut a whole bunch of these. And then on top of it, I have already pre-done our ribbon, for lack of better terms. This is done with the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. And then punched on the ends. Actually, I punched it first and then ran it through. You want to, when you're doing embossing folders, that's the last thing you want to do because you want the least amount of resistance if you want the most texture, okay? If you don't want that much texture, run it through something else, or take a bone folder and run it across and it'll flatten it a little bit and it'll be more subtle, okay? Up to you on what you want to do. Okay, so I already done this ahead of time, and then I have just a piece of scrap Whisper White regular thickness to go for the sun and the smile, and then we're gonna round the corners. So we got some work to do, huh? All right, so let's get this going, shall we? So I'm gonna teach you a couple things. For one, when you buy this, it doesn't come with these markings up here. I don't know if you can see those. So when you buy this, you have the option to do as small as a 1/2 inch, probably even smaller, but this is that bottom piece where you can center easily. And then the next up is a 3/4, and the next up is 1 inch. I'm sure you can figure out how to shove something in that's bigger, but hey, you know, it is what it is. For me, I was not going to remember if this was 1/2 inch, 3/4, or 1. So I took a Sharpie. I took a metallic gold, I believe it was, Sharpie, and I wrote 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1. So I knew what the measurements were. Yay, sometimes you just got to be that simple, right? So I'm going to teach you, for one, it's super easy. For two, you can do 2 at a time, and you get the second design at the same time. One thing to note, when you're pushing these in, you're going to think it stops. Wiggle it a tiny bit, and it'll continue to go. You want to go until it like stops in there, or that you can see that it's up against that wall. Okay? So we're going to do here. Okay. Got it so far? Now, when you're turning them around and doing 2 at a time, I know this is going to sound silly to you, but when it's late at night and you're tired, you're going to say, John told me and I still did it. Make sure that you put the appropriate punch with the matching end. And why do I say that? Because it's already happened to me. Okay? And that's all there is to it. All right, so for the next one, I'm only going to do 1, and here's why. Because I'm going to show you how to measure so you get the appropriate length when you do this, okay? So I'm going to punch here, okay? Got it? I'm going to lift up and get the remnant, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down here, and you know what I should do? Let's see, do I have a different color? Nope, I don't have a different color in my trash bucket. So let me do some quick coloring so you can see this. All right, this is ballpoint pen and it's super messy and we're not talking about that, okay? But you can see the piece now, right? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay that piece across. And so I want my end to be right there. I'm gonna lay that piece right there. And I'm gonna put, now normally I would do a pencil mark, but hey, I'm doing this so you can see, okay? That is where I want to snip off. Okay. So I'm going to snip that off. If you want to use a paper trimmer instead, go for it. It's up to you. And then I'm going to stick this in the correct, match your ends, right? Okay. So you're going to stick this in. And then you have the correct length of what you wanted. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time for you. So maybe it'll embed in a little bit better. Okay, and I don't want all my things the same length anyways. So we're going to do that on the top one this time. So we're going to stick this in until it stops after you wiggle it. Okay, got it so far? So far so good, right? Okay, and then you're going to stick this on the end wherever you want it to stop. Gotta grab my pen again. This is where I'm trimming. Okay. I'm gonna grab my scissors, trim the end off. Okay. By the way, if anybody's local and has scissors that need to be sharpened, I do have a sharpener. So if you're interested, bring your scissors. I'll be happy to share it with you on a Monday or whenever, okay? So, and there's my second one. Make sure your thing's straight. I think I might have hit it a little bit crooked, but hey, Oh well. So what do you think about that? I honestly was a little bit skeptical about it, and I went, I don't know if I want to do this or not, because it looked a little intimidating to me. Now I'm going to trim a little bit off of each one so I can have different lengths, but it really doesn't matter if you want to trim or not. Okay, so I'm just trimming off. Any scissors, any scissors. So they're just a Fiskars sharpener from Michael's, Walmart, God knows where. Okay, so I have it. Feel free to use it, but it's here at the studio, so they're not very expensive, especially on a coupon. So I'm just telling you it's out there. Okay, all right, so those are my monochromatic backgrounds for the tab punch. Kind of cool, right? Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal, and I am just going to lay these down across, over, you name it. Okay, if they go over, I'm just going to trim them a little. Not a big deal, right? We are improvising. It's almost kind of like the, you know, if we're doing quilting or all kinds of different ways, right? Okay. So this one's kind of long, so we're going to put this one this way because I want to trim the least amount possible. And there I go. I must have done the check mark again. Okay, so roll that up so it boogers on you. Now my other card that I had done, I had run this through an embossing folder, but then the problem was when you run it through an embossing folder, you cannot see really where the labels were. So you gotta kind of figure out what you want to see and what you don't want to see and then make it work. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I don't want these to all be the same lengthwise. I must be doing that check mark thing. All right, because I'm getting nice and sticky. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, it all got on my finger. All right. So the problem is with the snail, we had to do a higher angle, and I'm not used to going straight down yet. I will get there, though. Like everything, I will get there. Right? Okay. So we're just going to do a little piece here. It's all a learning curve, and it is okay. My brain is just going back to what I know. All right, so we're going to stick this here. And that is my monochromatic. Can you see this layer? I hope you can see the layers. I'm waiting for the video to catch up. I hope. So is everybody ready for bingo on Saturday? I hope so. It took a lot of planning for me to figure it out and all the rules and all that kind of stuff. So I really hope everybody's ready. I hope everybody has a great time. And if not, there's prizes. We will get there. All right, so that is what I've got for the punches. And then you got to figure out which way your card is going. This way, that way. And since my ribbon, quote unquote, is longer, I'm going to go this way. Remember to go a tiny bit slower on the pieces that have been embossed because you've broken down some of those fibers and it tends to tear a little more. Okay, so that part is finished for the moment. I'm actually going to, I must have done the check mark again. People, and then it slides back. So much fun. All right, so I don't know. All right, so we've got that going on. Like I said, learning curve, right? I do like that it sticks so much better, but it's definitely what we gotta do. It's kind of like the pads when they first came out. It took me like a month to go, oh, pop, not push. So, you're ready for bingo? I'm glad, hun. I'm nearly there. Nearly. Pray that Facebook doesn't update like the night before or something. All right, so I'm stamping my sun in Mango Melody. Like I said before, this is a Paper Pumpkin exclusive. So if you like it, then the kit is 25 bucks. And I only have one, by the way, and they're sold out, so no pressure. All right, so then we've got Early Espresso to kind of match our ribbon, right? We got to match. Come on, guys. So we're going to do Smile. Because I don't know about you, the last couple of months have been a little bit rough, and there have been times where I'm like, okay, I need to remember to be positive. I need to remember to not dwell and just be okay. I don't know if anybody else has been doing that, but I have. I will be honest with you. All right, so I'm grabbing my triple punch. This does corner rounders. This does like a fleur-de-lis kind of thing. And then this does like a little oval, which is great for tags when you're doing ribbon and that kind of stuff. But for tonight, we're just going to round the corners because the sun is round. So it would look weird if there were pointed corners, right? So we're just grabbing. All right, with this, kind of think of it as a T. All right, so the corners come together. So what you're doing is fishing this down and finding the corner. So that way you get an even rounded corner. And then every about 20 or so, you gotta lift it up and sweep them to the side. So that way you end up with even rounded, nice corners and things that punch correctly. All right, so last but not least, we're gonna get some dimensions on this guy. So why are there 4 fingers and a thumb? Because 4 fingers fits 4 dimensionals, and that's usually what we use for our pieces. No? Is that not correct? Okay. That's what I'm going with. It makes doing cards fairly easy. Because there's usually 4 corners. All right, so we're gonna grab here and yay, right? And then this one, because I'm sending it off and we got some gold for the sun, we gotta have some bling. Where's Lise? I don't know. So we gotta have some bling though. You can use their take your pick tool, you can use your scissors, you can use all kinds of things, but hey, guess what? My fingers usually work pretty darn good. You can also use tweezers. I've got reverse action. I've got every single probably tool that has been invented, and I still use my fingers. So that is what we have for tonight. And let me get the other card so you can see. I must have peeled that up or something. Let's get that stuck down really good. We're gonna get some glue dots. I did peel up one of them, and then with the ribbon it pops too. So we're just gonna grab a glue dot and throw it down there, and everything will be just hunky-dory. There is always an adhesive to fix it, right? Okay, so that is what we have. I'm just glad I noticed it before I sent it off. Thanks, Carol. Appreciate it, hun. So that is another way to stretch your punches, make a monochromatic background, and I also taught you how this darn thing works, huh? So kind of cool, right? If you're wondering, for the ribbon, Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder, and this one was done with the subtle one. I use that subtle one all the time, okay? So that is what I have for you tonight. We ran a little long. Make sure to comment. Here's all the stuff. I'll leave this up at the finish of the video. Here are the 2 cards I will be raffling off. Thank you so much for joining me. Follow me on my blog, stampingwithjohnny.com. I will see you Saturday, 10 a.m. for bingo. Pray that nothing updates on Facebook so there's nothing screwy. And if you'd like to order, please feel free. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night. Bye-bye.